I pushed 2 accounts into Challenger with a 58% win rate on Neeko support. My key runes right now are Scorch, Cosmic Insight, and Free Stopwatch, which is why I like to go Comet and Glacial Page. My default page is Comet, but if I have an ADC who goes all in off a root, Glacial can be very good for lane, and Glacial is very good at countering team comps with a lot of melee champions, as it makes it hard for them to team fight through the Glacial on the ground. My standard ability order is Q, E, W into Q max, E max, using my Q to proc Scorch and Comet level 1. Note, Q is a 9-second cooldown and Scorch is a 10-second cooldown level 1, so wait 1 second between each Q toss to get bonus damage. Versus melee champions, you can go Q into W so that you can't get all in level 2, or you can even start W into E versus hook champions like Nautilus, Blitzcrank, and Pike to make it so that you aren't getting killed on a hook level 1. For my items, I like to go Pen Boots into Zanya's Rush, allowing me to pivot my mythic depending on game state. If I'm snowballing and my team needs Engage, I can go Rocket Belt. If my team needs extra CC Lockdown, I can go Everfrost. Or if I personally need Magic Resist, or I'm kind of behind, or the enemy team has lots of tanks to damage amp, I go Even Shroud. If I'm snowballing really hard off my early lane, like we double kill, I can start off by just rushing Rocket Belt, no problem still. Sometimes I'll just rush my Zanyas and sit on tier 1 boots if I know that I'm going to need Magic Resist for Merc Treads, or if I want to just lower my flash cooldown. Any of these other items beside are very good at filling in your 3rd item slot while finishing it off usually with Wardstone or anything else you want. Make sure you follow any of these socials that interest you, like the video, and let's get started. So now we're going to VOD review the game I hit Challenger. I'm going to be giving you an in-depth analysis on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what you should and shouldn't do on Neeko. In the downtime when I'm walking the lanes and stuff, I'll talk more about builds, runes, and stuff, but if there's any questions you have, feel free to ask me below. I will be answering every question, so yeah. Level 1, you might notice that lane is warded. Level 1, I like to ward lane, especially versus engaged lanes, where versus a Alistar, so if they kind of try to cheese a bush, well no, because I put a ward, and I swap for sweepers so that any vision they place, I can deny later. Alrighty, so level 1, I'm just looking for Qs. I hit a Q on their Zeri, and now we are just chilling. Alistar can't really do anything level 1. He's not really a champion until he unlocks his W, so we don't really have to be scared. And see how I don't throw my Q right away? I wait for a second so that my Scorch will be back up to make sure I am maximizing my damage. You kind of run out of mana on Neeko support by spamming Q anyways, so if you're going to run out of mana, you might as well be, you know, getting as much damage as possible. So far pretty standard. So here I'm going to take a point in E because I have a Lucian, and Lucian can all in off a root. To note, this lane is actually Glacial is good for this lane too, because Lucian's all in on a root and making enemies slower is good. But yeah, I took E. If I had an ADC who's like a weaker early ADC, I'd take W so that I could poke Zeri, and if Alistar WQs on me, I can W so that I'm invisible and they can't just auto attack me and relieve pressure. But because I have an ADC who can go all in off of a root, I took root level 2 to continue the pressure. But as you can see, pretty standard so far. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just tossing max range Qs, tossing max range Es. We see their jungler's top. If we didn't, I'd play a bit safe, but because we know he's there, we can hit tower. Always play around where the enemy jungle is. So yep, I'm just hitting tower, throw a Q that I'll never hit, but you can see my mana right now, how low it is. That's why I'm saying you might as well be maximizing your Scorch damage, because if you're throwing Q on cooldown and just losing free damage, I would say my damage right now is 80, I could have like 40, so it's like, you know, that's a lot of damage, considering my Q does 80 damage, and having a bonus 40 that I could have been missing is good. So now I have my W, now I'm going to be autoing the wave twice, boop, to get my empowered auto up. My next auto attack will now do bonus damage. So we're just going to keep that up. I should be using my passive more, just turning into a minion for fun, just to confuse the enemy, or turn into Lucian, just so when the enemy's ganking, they don't know who I am. So this is definitely something I should work on. I'm usually actually pretty good early lane using my passive a lot. But yeah, just turning into minions, the enemy will know which one you are, but it takes up their focus trying to figure out like which one you are if you're just walking around as a minion. And again, it confuses the jungler and the enemy team when they look at their minimap and they don't see Neeko. They might panic like, oh, is Neeko roaming mid? So yeah, I should be turning into a minion more often is just pretty good, other than when you need to auto attack the enemy. So again, boom, hit a Q, she walked forwards, I hit her with an empowered auto, and now Lucian, our jungler is coming to dive bot because we got them low, so now we're gonna hard push the wave to crash it and then look for a dive. So I got an auto in, but now I'm continuously pushing. I probably shouldn't have even hit the Alistar there with an auto. We just want to get this wave in because we don't want Rengar to appear bot lane. So the longer we take, the worst. So now we got the wave shoved in. Lucian is here. If they leave in time, which they do, they just lose all that farm EXP. We trade flash for flash there. I actually go for, yeah, not the greatest flash. I was kind of going for an E flash, hit Alistar, but I think even if it hit, Lee Sin's abilities are on cooldown. I don't even think it's a kill, but you know, it happens. At the end of the day, look at all this farm and EXP they're losing. And this is a very normal thing for me on Neeko. If the jungler on my team paths towards me, I poke out the enemy, I get them low, we set them into a diveable position, and then we kill them. And then it's basically like game over if you play ADC and you miss this much EXP. Like, we're up 2 plates. We're up flash on Zeri for my Lucian's flash. They just missed like 3 waves of farm. Things are looking good. So now we're on the recall. So on recall, you should always ask where you need to be. My ADC is recalled, which means I don't need to go bot because he's not actually currently there, which means I have a timer to go towards mid. So there's this minion wave here, and I would imagine I sneak into it. Actually, no, I don't. So the reason I didn't here is because their mid laner wasn't showing, and I think I decided that I don't think that I was really a kill option, but to be honest, I think this was a mistake, because again, when you shove a wave into tower, the wave always pushes back to you, which means that this wave is pushing to us, which means my Lucian will be able to catch under tower, and I could currently right now be in the middle of the mid wave, and if Ahri walked up, I'd be able to get her, and if she didn't, I could just walk down river and I'd be here. But see how this wave's pushing? So if I did go mid, it would have ended up being a waste of time. Okay, so now I'm doing a minion thing, but by the time the wave hit the tower, I'd be back here, but looks like it ended up okay because mid did end up recalling, so I guess in-game my analysis was correct that going mid was kind of a waste of time. I was kind of thinking that it's like a level 6 Ahri, and it's kind of like hard to really kill with Anivia, so I was like, we're winning bot hard, might as well continue the pressure up. So we just saw Rengar top, and we don't need to worry about him coming, so we can block up aggressive, just look for stuff, it's okay. Use our W to run at the enemy. A good trick is you sit in the bush and then you W towards the minion wave and empower root off of it. It's hard to do it in this elo, but in lower elo, it's like that's pretty much all I perma do is I sit in the bush, W towards the wave, throw it through. So we're hitting tower. Always keeping in our mind that Alistar's only plays the flash QS. Of course, we traded our flash and we didn't get his flash, so we're actually in a very vulnerable position right now. And I'm now question mark pinning the enemy jungle. We saw Rengar gank top. We saw he was level 5. I'm sneaking in as a cannon. This should never work, but you know, just whatever. Again, just always showing us the minions better because it confuses enemy jungle if they hover bot. The enemy team doesn't see me on the minimap. But yeah, we can expect Rengar should be heading bot because we just saw him topside gank. Usually the junglers clear their topside, gank topside. Topside is no camps, so Rengar should come. That's why I'm not overextending for this ward, because you assume Rengar's bot. Last time I saw Rengar, he was level 5, so we're assuming Rengar's bot side. And okay, well, I'm kind of, like I said, we should, oh, it's because Lee Sin's here. See, when Lee Sin's here, now I play aggressive and bait it. But when Lee Sin wasn't there, I don't, because we need to assume he's there. So now we're doing Dragon with our bot lane Prio. It's a bit hard, to be honest, because of the fact that, yeah, we got to get out of here because we lost Prio. Okay, nice. Our ADC was cut off, so if Rengar came, we'd actually be in a 2v3 because our Lucian wouldn't be able to come in, so. But we hit the root. Here comes the Rengar ult. Just back up, stay as 3. As Rengar comes in here, I'm going to instantly Q the ground or whatever as soon as he goes in. If Lee Sin walked towards us, we could have traded kills here. This was kind of sad. I was like, no. He was trying to pull Rengar away from us, but in a 3v2, we don't need to pull Rengar away from us, I don't think, but it's okay. We'll shove this wave in. We know that mid's mid, top's top. Jungle is 1 HP probably leaving, so now we're looking for the dive, right? I missed the root, but it's okay. Because dead anyways, and this ADC is just, you know, Giga screwed. I don't think it's worth Lucian flashing here, by the way. It's better for him to just die, give the kill to Alistar, whatever, and then have flash up for the next play. Because the wave's already in tower, good wave state. You could just, like, you know, quick recall, give the gold to Alistar, but he flashes, and, you know, if you die later because of that, or miss a kill because of that, it feels bad, but yeah, if you have any questions, again, feel free to ask in the comments. I didn't put these other pages, but Electrocute Tree is very, very good. Going Electrocute with Scorch Secondary is super good on Neeko. And Guardian page is pretty good too if you're playing with like a weak ADC versus a kill lane. But in the current right now meta, I think Scorch and Free Stopwatch is good because I like to rush my Zhonya's first. This game I actually got armor boots. I'm actually versus Scrub Noob this game. And the game before on Rengar, he was basically one-shotting me before I could even get my ulti Zhonya's off. And I was having PTSD from that, so I decided let's get armor boots this game. Make sure Rengar's not able to one-shot me before I can get ulti off. Because the thing about Zhonya's rush is it's very good, but you're very squishy. You have 0 health, so you basically are getting one-tapped because you're building 0 HP. You really got to be quick on the ulti Zhonya's, which is why you'll actually notice my Zhonya's key. You might not be able to see it, but my Zhonya's key is on the T button. So I have my finger on R and I go RT, right? I sweep my finger. Before I started playing Neeko, my Zhonya's used to be on the 2 button, but I wanted to optimize it and I ended up switching it to T so that I can go RT and just flick my finger over the 2. So a little bit of optimization there. Alright, so Rengar just killed the Rift Herald top. We know that we're now in a position again where Rengar's not on our side of the map and we can play aggressive. The game is 4-4. We need to make sure we're playing smart. I'm sitting in the bush because I don't want the enemy to know I'm here. Again, if you don't show, the enemy might think I'm roaming to that top fight. They don't know where I am. So I sneak into the wave as a minion. They get caught. Easy peasy. Challenger elo, challenger player, still fall for it. Remember right now is sketching out because I was picking the fact that Alistar is missing and my team shouldn't be fighting up there. If Alistar went up there, it would have been really bad for us, but he didn't. And now again, look at their ADC, just completely, this is literally what Neeko does, by the way. Like, if you play Neeko well, Neeko is a feast or famine champ. If you fall behind on Neeko, the game's going to feel super unfun, super unplayable. But if you get ahead on Neeko, you do this every game. You just dumpster the enemy, don't allow them to play, take all their farm, take all their plates, rotate around the map, do things. This game I haven't really roamed that much because it's kind of been a lane domination game. It's like we're winning so hard down here. Our win con is here, but usually by almost every game I rotate to Rift Herald at 8 minutes and I do other things. But this game is just kind of a lane domination. My jungler's pinging Dragon. Maybe I shouldn't be recalling here, but at the same time, it's like my ADC recall. We can't even do it till he's back. So we go back, we get our Seeker's Arm Guard. Usually I rush Fiendish Codex, but again, I'm literally having PTSD. The game before this, I faced Grub Nude, and I'm just like, you know what? We got Armor Boots. We got Seeker's Arm Guard. I'm not getting one shot. Even though last game, like I said, I actually got my ulti Zhonya's off. It's just, want to make sure it doesn't happen again. So we're heading down to the Rift Heralds, and I see a mid wave, a lane coming. Okay, so we dodge that. They know we're here. Right there, I did a Q buffer into emote, and it extends your clone and makes it controllable. I'll put a link. Hopefully, I'll remember to put the link up top. I have a video I put out that's about 15 minutes and goes over basically 15 Neeko tricks that you can do, bugs and tricks and stuff. So if you want to learn how to do all the tricks, you should watch that too, and like and comment on it because I'd appreciate it. Check out my stream if you ever want. I stream weekdays from 2 to 8 p.m. EST. Right now I'm just guarding this entrance because my team doesn't need my damage to do Dragon, and if their team tries to rotate through, I can get a big chunk of damage or something proactive off. I mean, the Dragon doesn't really do much. Now we're walking towards the mid. I should probably... Ooh, there's an Ahri. Dun dun. I played this game 2 days ago, so I don't actually fully remember what happens, but... Alright, we're walking towards bot here. I should not be pretending to be Ahri, our mid laner. I should be pretending to be the Lee Sin, because if the enemy sees a Lee Sin here, they'll believe it's Lee Sin. If they see an Anivia here, when they see Anivia mid, they're not going to believe it's Anivia. So being Anivia here is bad. Should probably be Lee Sin, but the thing about Neeko and her passive is, I actually say this, I think Neeko is the highest skill cap champion in League. I'm not saying it for ego because I play her, and I don't even think I'm close to reaching that skill. But the thing is mechanically, Neeko's not got the most complex get. Like, her abilities are pretty easy. EQ, auto attack, ulti, pretty easy, nothing complex. But Neeko's pass W is controllable. Controlling 2 characters at the same time, I think, is one of the hardest mechanics in the game, which she now has, along with Shaco and Ivern and, you know, stuff like that. But she also, Neeko's passive, I think, has an infinite skill ceiling on using her passive well for different types of mind games and different kind of mechanics. So yeah, that's the fun thing about playing Neeko, is no matter how much you play her, you can keep improving and finding new ways to do things. So here, the classic sneak. Everyone always asks, dude, I was so salty here. I should have thrown my E first. I thought she would just die from the Q Ignite auto, so I just went for it. Because sometimes if they have tenacity, they can dodge the root before it hits, and then she lives. If I just threw root into Q, she dies. Oh, I was so sad about that, man. Really sad. But anyways, the classic question people ask, do challenger people fall for the minion? Well, you saw it happen a couple times bot, they fell for it. You just saw it happen mid. These are challenger players. And yeah, it works, man. It's really hard for people to pay attention to this. I will say in challenger elo, it works about 85% of the time. But in Grandmaster and below, I would say it works 95% of the time. Like, so yeah, here I am going mid. I should probably turn into a minion. There we go. No point showing as myself if I can show as a minion. Nothing will probably come of this, but... Alrighty. So mid-game, we're going to be looking to do things. So to be honest, if we're looking at the map right now, I probably should have been going top to like protect my Darius from getting dove. But you at the same time don't want to play around your weakest players. So it's probably best to just let him suffer, to be honest. It's probably good that I didn't go there, but definitely hovering my mid and my ADC is the play. Because basically the idea is if I go to Darius, he's like losing really hard, and then a play goes bad and now I'm behind. It's like, and then my ADC is not able to extend his lead because he can't play by himself. So yeah, if my top laner was like doing really well, it'd be good. But actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it's probably not best to play around him. Just keep my ADC safe, keep our lead protected. He probably has like a 1k gold bounty or something. As you can see so far, this has basically come to just a normal support bot review. I mean, there's not much. Neeko's a very simple champ. So I'm pretending to be Lee Sin there, just not let them just confuse them. Standing back, walking backwards. The Zhonyas, this is why I love free stopwatch. And this is why I usually rush Zhonyas first. This exact example here shows that if I was building Rocket Belt, I just use my free stopwatch. It's gonna take me forever until I'm gonna be sitting on broken stopwatch for so long, and I'm gonna, if the game goes sideways, right, like I'm only got 2 assists, right, Rocket Belt's an expensive item, and Zhonya's an expensive item too. With the free stopwatch, you don't have like room in your inventory to get all the components, and it's like 1,800 gold to finish at one point. It's just not feels good. Yeah, that was a bit, one of my teammates got caught, and I tried to land an ulti there. I was like, no, is this game slipping away? I was doing so well. But yeah, this is why I like to go Zhonya's Rush, because you know, I need to be able to ulti Zhonya's there. If I have Zhonya's up, my ulti lands, and it's like we win the game. So this is why I've been going Zhonya's Rush. But for sure, you can go Rocket Belt Rush, Even Shroud Rush, Everfrost Rush. For most of the season, I was doing that. I climbed up to like 100 LP from Challenger playing like that. But I just started going this page, and it feels really good, man. Like, you saw my early game. I'm able to burst people, do a lot of damage. But I'm now like building an item that's like affordable, because with the free stopwatch it's 2750 gold. It's a bit cheaper than Everfrost with like the same AP. I'm turning into Lucian here because, again, always play with enemy's mind, pretend to be someone who could be anyone. As I go in here, I should turn into Lee Sin. No point showing as Lucian still. I should turn into Lee Sin, right? So as I'm showing, like I said, infinite skill cap. I need to get better at this, but now it's okay to be Lucian because they see Lee Sin and they'll believe that I'm Lucian coming on the side. Okay, that's gone. Now we see Dragon is spawning soon, so I should be going over and trying to get vision control. Big tip with Neeko, and it's gonna be like a no dud dog, but you'd be surprised. Never face check, man. Use your W to face check bushes. I've VOD reviewed a lot of Neeko supports, and like, I mean, see, I'm face checking here. It's like, and I'm face checking here. I was on a ward and Rengar's in that bush. I'm dead. Like, use your W to face check. It's a lot safer, but I didn't get punished for it at least. Warding all the bushes because Rengar is really OP with bushes, and I just want to make sure if he goes in a bush we have vision on him. I'm right now hiding in a flank because I can't really get back to my team, and it's sometimes as Neeko it's really good to be on the flank, especially when I have flash up, because as my team's fighting here, my ulti's not up yet, so I decided to just go for the back line with an E-flash. I wasn't trying to kill, it's just, see that time that they were wasting my root, and now Ahri's ulting to kill me. That's time that they both could have been hitting my team, right? Zeri could have eat over the wall, gotten an angle, Ahri could have ultied over, but instead I E-flashed their backline from a flash. Flank, if my ult was up, it could have been even better. But yeah, I'm coming in the flank, I'm hitting a big E-flash on 2 targets that are their carries, and then out of it, they're both chasing me and killing me while my team is winning the team fight. So in general, if you have no flash, you usually group up with your team and play as like a kind of disengage or center. But when you have flash up, you can find flanks on the side, come from side angles, create space. They have to respect you. So kind of a rule of thumb on Neeko. Let's fast forward a bit because I'm dead and I don't want this game to be too long. Okay, so I come back and we're going to clear out some vision. Getting some vision on the top side. I'm thinking, look at where I'm pinging. We don't have any vision top. We just saw Zeri there. So see, use your W to face check. And we're walking through with our Lee Sin, so we're feeling kind of safe. There's lots of wards, but it is what it is. Clearing it out. Going towards the mid. Now we should probably be looking to hover our Nivea. We're recalling. Oh, it's because I have Zhonya's right now. I was saying Zhonya's. Let's go recall for Zhonya's. I want it to up. So now I'm feeling pretty unkillable. This is the point where you can decide your build, whether you want Rocket Belt, Everfrost, or Even Shroud. So already I'm 0, 2, and 4. I'm not snowballing. Rocket Belt is super expensive already in my head, unless my team desperately needs me to be an engager, which, to be honest, this game, my team kind of does need me to be an engager, but it's too expensive, man. It's just, you can't go for it. So it's like Everfrost or Even Shroud, and I'm pretty sure that Everfrost is okay, but most games it's not really that useful. Again, we kind of need me to engage, not really needing me to disengage. Right now for our comp, we have a Nivea as our disengage, and they have to run through a Darius. We really need me to be a somewhat engager, so I'm going to be going Even Shroud. It'll make me tankier, harder for, again, Rengar to one-shot. It'll give me MR for this Ahri. Clearing out vision for a Nivea. I'm saying, where are these guys? And Nivea gets really mad that I leave her here. It's hard to know what the right play was. She didn't want me to leave her, but at the same time, I was thinking maybe I could make a pick on the ADC here in Alistar, right? Because again, I want to play around my ADC who I got Giga Fed. Probably should have been around her. I mean, honestly, if we were bot, we just get dove anyways. I don't think it makes a difference, but yeah, I get caught. But again, the ulti Zhonya's. We're going to be able to at least trade a kill here because of the Zhonya's. If I didn't have Zhonya's, there's just no kill here, and at least we trade. And I typed my bad to my Anivia because she wanted me to be bot. I think if I was bot, we still just get dove. I don't think it's good either way, but I definitely got caught, so... maybe I didn't type my bad to Anivia, but my bad, Anivia. Anyways, we respawn. Walking down mid. Alright. Baron is up. We want to play and get vision control around there, and you always want to play around your jungler, so I'm pretending to be Lee Sin because it's more believable that I'm Lee Sin. I could probably turn into Lucian right now because Lucian is in base and they believe I'm Lucian. And we got a little side angle here, just rooting Alistar in the Nivea ultimate, looking to play from front to back. Got charmed in by Nivea, pulling backwards, just staying in the backside, just waiting, have my E flash up to see if anything happens. I miss a very easy route there on him, and thankfully we don't lose the game over it. If you want evidence that anyone can get Challenger, I do not have the best mechanics. I miss a lot of easy skill shots. Right there, if I hit the route on Jax in the Nivea ulti, he guarantees dies and we win the game. I missed the route, there's a chance there, they just kill everyone and we lose the game, right? But I got Challenger even though I'm, you know, a boomer who's missing half their skill shots, just because I'm a smart gamer who plays correctly and well. Although I do have a really, I do play mechanically well in lane, I will say, but yeah. Don't feel discouraged if you think you're not the best at landing skill shots and stuff. If you play smart, you can climb. I'm proof of that. So we got a Baron. I'm just chilling here in case Lee Sin needs to jump to me, but it doesn't look like it, so I don't cancel my recall. And now I'd go, okay, let's go Even Shroud because we're just really poor this game, and it's our cheapest. It's 2,300 gold, 500 less than Everfrost. And yeah. And we want some HP, so we got some HP finally, and now we're heading over to the dragon that is spawning. This game is slowly falling out of control of the enemy. I mean, mid-game so far, this game I haven't done that much. I mean, I hit that big flank alt E-flash here, but you can see a lot of the game is early game. And every game I get a lead in my lane, and I make it so that my jungler always has prio to do anything on the mop, and that's why I win. So here I'm looking for an alt E-flash, but I kind of get CC'd by Rengar root before I can flash, but I still separate them from my team, make sure that they can't dive my team while we're doing Dragon. Still looks pretty good. Would have been nice if I could have got the flash off, but I think overall well played. You'll see that Neeko is not a KDA champ. People come to my stream all the time asking me how to get S's on Neeko, like they never get it. It's like, well, simply put, Neeko is not an S champion. Neeko usually engages, goes into the front, hits an ulti and dies. If you want to play for S's, I'd recommend checking out AD Neeko, because that's probably your best chance of getting S's on Neeko. Anyways, let's fast forward a bit. So on spawn, we're pathing down, and I'm now looking like, I mean, I should probably be around my Nivea. I don't know what I'm doing on this side. I mean, it's because rule of thumb, you usually head towards your jungler, but yeah, I should probably be playing around my Nivea here, because a Nivea needs way more protection than Jax does. And it looks like I'm going to go turn into a minion maybe here. See if we can get something done. Just YOLO. Maybe someone will walk out. You never know. Usually they don't, but if they do, dun 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 dun. Okay, now we can clear a ward. Clear some more wards. Nice loot. And my team is pinging top, so I oblige. We need to shove one more wave mid though, and I need to hover here. Again, against champions like Rengar, Evelynn, Kayn, you can't really be too far from your ADC when they need to shove a wave. That's why my jungler is here too. We're going to sit beside Lucian so he can safely push the wave, and then we're going to all together rotate up to Anivia so that if Rengar pops up, we're all together. And now I'm like, oh, their Ahri showed top. How silly of her. So I lead with my W in front of me. If she tries to charm, it'll hit the clone like it did with my ulti going, and she is just dead. Free pick. Easy peasy. Now we're doing a bit of a base race here. We're going to be pushing top for mid. Fast forward a bit. Spoiler, we trade. But actually this is a good trade for us, and I'll explain why. The enemy will always have to have someone top shoving a wave. And in return, we're always going to have someone mid shoving a wave. But it's a lot easier for an ADC to sit mid and shove, and then the ADC can rotate bot or top, compared for someone to shove top. The only way they can rotate to a play all the way bot side would be they'd have to TP. So trading top for mid is always pretty good. Any side lane for mid is pretty good because we can just shove mid and rotate, where a top or a side lane will always have to shove and TP, meaning that they're always going to be having expending more resources to make any play, which is why now we're going to see, now we push mid and bot, right? And since we're pushing mid and bot, The enemy who's holding top is on the opposite side of the map of us. So, yeah. Do I go for a play here? I do. Olivia hit a stun, so I go for an ulti flash. I hit a root on Zeri through it. And that should be a good game. So yeah, if you have, again, any questions for Neeko's support, there wasn't really like, again, I just play a standard support. Neeko isn't that different. The biggest thing you want to think about with Neeko is how to snowball your lane. You know, how to use your passive really well. I still have a ton to work on with my passive. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe to the video. Oh, one sec. Let's live reaction. Audio track. Oh, okay. A little bit of cringe. Let's see the live reaction to me hitting Challenger. I think this is me hitting Challenger on second count. Let's go! I've never been this deep in Challenger before. I've only ever gotten like one this is a bit Challenger. This is a bit unhyped, like, so I guess we'll end the video on that one. 2 games deep. 2 games deep. Not one. So, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my other videos. I have some Road to Challenger videos that are games just like this, where I'm VOD reviewing Challenger ELO games. So if you enjoyed it, you should check out that. Check out my Neeko guide that I uploaded a couple weeks ago that goes over Neeko's tips and tricks and stuff. Appreciate you guys watching the video. I'm going to try my best to finish this season Challenger and maintain at least one of these accounts. So wish me luck and cheer me on by coming to my stream. Peace out.